Hey everyone, since I'm about to start my senior year of college, I thought I would go back and flip through my sketchbook from freshman year. So this is from fall of freshman year up until fall of sophomore year. So basically from October 2017 to October 2018. Yeah, and this was during Inktober, so this is my roommate's desk freshman year. And then this is a view on top of the math and physics library at my school. This is like the physics building right here, and then this is also part of the physics building, like underground. It's more of the math building. And then here's like that little courtyard outside one of the dorms. Here is a view of someone studying in the library. For Inktober, I really tried to just draw with the brush pen and see how far I could take it and draw different scenes around campus. Yeah, so here's another view of the physics courtyard. I had a lot of intro-level engineering courses freshman year, so that's why I ended up taking a lot of math and physics courses. But yeah, here's this sculpture in the courtyard. Here is the fountain of the public policy building. There's this really funky contemporary art sculpture that sprays water, and then the building in the background. Here's another building called Guyot Hall that houses the environmental and ecological biology science major. I really like the Gothic architecture on the outside. And then here's another sketch from my freshman year dorm, the fridge that my roommate and I shared. We had a little pumpkin there for Halloween, like a mirror, and then just some notes there, and then my shelf. So here's the entrance to the chapel on my campus. It's a really famous chapel, actually. I think it's really pretty, and a lot of people want to get married there, so it's rumored to have a very long waiting list, like almost 2 years. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is a really pretty chapel. And then here's the arch called Blair Arch. I think it's one of the iconic monuments on campus. Whenever people come to campus, they always take a picture right before the arch. Even people who don't go to my school, or just people who live in New Jersey or around, they take wedding pictures here, prom pictures here. So just a very pretty famed location on campus. And then for fall break that year, I ended up going on a breakout trip in Philadelphia. So it was a group of students, and we all went to Philadelphia to learn more about this topic, relevant to social issues. So I learned about homelessness within the LGBT population. And so we got to go around Philadelphia and talk to different organizations, and this was one of the columns in their city hall area. And this is a coffee shop that we ended up just working in for a few hours just to get some work done over fall break. Another sculpture near the city center. And then here's the flight. People sitting around waiting. There's a Dunkin' Donuts. And I also try to draw people around campus, so light post, people walking. And I didn't draw for a while, so it was October, and then now we jumped to January. It's really hard to draw during school year, and especially freshman year, I had a hard time balancing school and all the other things going on in my life. But here is a view of Richardson Hall, which is a performing arts stage. It's really pretty. There's always a lot of concerts there. And then for spring break, I didn't draw again until March, but for spring break I ended up going to the Red River Gorge in Kentucky. It's a very famous outdoor climbing area, so I went there with the climbing team at my school, and so I drew a bunch of different areas that we went climbing in, some of the trees, climbing shoes. Yeah, and I don't really know what days these are from, but I also just tried to draw like random sketches of people and hands and things that I saw. Some practice poses. And this is May 2018. So there's this tower, and then some columns. There's this tree on campus. There's also another tree on campus that has these weird bumps. I don't really know what they're from, but they look like warts on the tree, and I find it kind of funny. Another statue on campus, and then I think this is also from the chapel. I think this is from the end of the school year. I was just trying to draw whatever on campus. And this is also the summer after my freshman year. I spent it in New York working at a startup, and it was a really cool time for me because it was my first time living in New York City by myself, and I really got to explore like the city and draw a lot. So here's like a view of Manhattan, and then some other very loose sketches of people. The startup where I was working was like really close to Bryant Park, and so I would kind of spend like an hour or so after work every day just sitting in Bryant Park drawing whatever. And so here's some like people who were sitting there, some of the like statues or like adornments on buildings, someone's froyo, yeah, just different parts of the city. And I actually ended up meeting someone at Bryant Park who wanted to also sketch with me, so we met up on a Saturday and walked around the High Line and drew some scenes from it. So these are some scenes. I drew in 10 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I did 1 minute. Yeah, so this is all from Bryant Park. And this is Times Square. Different people sitting in Bryant Park again. Yeah, little hot dog stand, some plants that I saw, just some notes that I had. Tried to play around with some watercolor. I think these attempts were not as solid as my later attempts at watercolor, but yeah, I tried to play around with watercolor as well this summer. Some more notes, a vendor stand, some more scenes from the park. I went to brunch one day and had shakshuka, which was really, really good, and I drew a picture of that here. And I also did more poses, just for practice. More poses. Fire hydrant. I tried drawing some faces. Another building near Bryant Park. I also went to a museum and saw this really cool like statues around, so I tried drawing some of those. I also bought a gold brush pen, so I tried to play around with like mid-tones and like dark tones. Some more notes. This was on 4th of July. We sat in Battery Park and watched the fireworks. So here's some people waiting for the fireworks to start, some on the grass. Just some ideas for a short film that I was thinking of animating. More thumbnails. Yeah. And then I don't exactly remember where this is from, but also just some people sitting around. I also took one weekend to visit my friend in Boston, and so this was from the Stuart Gardner Museum. I got a statue there, and this is the courtyard of the Boston Public Library. There's some different plants that I saw, and I believe this is also Bryant Park again. Then here's some sketches that I had for the 2021 year. Another building, some more sketches of people and plants and whatever. Yeah, and one of my friends from high school was also taking some classes in New York that summer, and so while I was waiting for them, I kind of sat in a park nearby and drew this scene. And then some more people. Yeah, and then I spent a day exploring New York City by myself near the end of summer, and I just recorded like kind of my thoughts and feelings. So it was just like around noon, waiting for the subway to arrive. There was like an interesting bend in the tunnel, and then I went to Chelsea Market, and there were these noodles that were like served in these like watermelon, like literal watermelons they cut open, but they were sold out by the time I got there, so I ended up getting this really tasty ramen instead. And then I just shopped around. There was some like candies that were being sold at one of the stores. Then I window shopped for a little bit and drew some people sitting at a park. And then I found myself at Columbus Circle near Central Park and drew this awesome like statue. And then just drew a little subway, what I wore that day, what I made for dinner. And then wrote a little reflection on my sketchbook. I ended this on August 1st, 2018. And then this is another thing from the Isabel Stewart Gardner Museum. So yeah, it was just really interesting to look back and see what I drew freshman year and see how far I've come artistically and personally. So hope you enjoyed the sketchbook tour of my sketchbook from freshman year and after freshman summer.